he would pray weekly about the finances, and he and Dave would be in tears sometimes about payrolls coming up, and we have to pay our people. We can't pay our people. God, we need you to come through. And in all of that, the Lord started telling him, stop looking down and look up. And he's like, well, what does that mean? He says, look up and start sowing seed into the future. I need you to start praying in to the future what you need, so that you are praying in advance. Okay, so next week I need this seed, and the week after I need this building, and I need
to water at this time in this place. And then watering at the wrong time of year is horrible.
It's horrible.
So you want the water at the right time. You want to water correctly. You want to get the any weeds out. You want to take care of it and
right?
Yeah.
So the Lord told him, start praying. He called it his 52s. So he would take the year and he would say, okay, this week we're going to need payroll. Next week and he would pray each day for 52 weeks.
So each week he had a similar prayer?
Well, every day he had a prayer, but similar, but it wasn't, he knew certain things like, okay, we need payroll every 2 weeks, missions trips, this are going out.
Okay.
These things are due. And he would pray about financial issues and other things, family. I mean, he started praying for our boys' wives when they were born.
Sure.
So he would put those in the 52, but then
Yep.
the Lord tells him down the road, I want you to start praying for 50 years. So I want you to start praying for a year. What do you need in the second year, third year? And the Lord said to him, I want you to pray for the field to be full, and you step into it, even though you won't be alive when the field comes to fullness. Yeah. I look at, what does it mean to pray forward? When you're praying right now about your need, it's very frantic. It's like for Steve, I need, $100,000 tomorrow, or I need $100,000 by Friday. And we have this frantic thing that goes on. It's like that little hummingbird. Whew. But when you pray into the future, you're actually praying strategically, and the pressure is off, and it brings a peace inside, because, we talked the other day that God is actually not in a hurry.
And he's not worried.
He does understand the end game. But we're worried. And so you really, it's like when the Lord said, look up and pray from the position of looking up, look into the future and sow seeds today into the future that other people water, that other people farm.
What just occurred to me is we get tricked, I think, by the enemy spiritually into sowing the wrong seeds. Because when we worry, we're like, this is going to happen in our country. This is going to happen in our kids. This is going to happen in our schools. And we are speaking it out, and we are sowing seeds that are not the things we want to be sowing. So when we're tempted to do that, using Steve's strategy to pray it forward, like, okay, that's not what God wants, clearly. So this is what we will release over our kids, over our grandchildren, over our churches, over our ministries.
So glad you brought that up, because, the enemy is broadcasting all the time. We do that in Shifting Atmospheres. We talk about that. But he cannot create.
Correct. There's only one creator.
Right. And we can create with our words.
Yes.
Power of life and death is in the tongue.
We're created in his image. So we have that authority. Yeah,
so if he can get Christians to speak what he's saying, then he gets to create.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes. And literally are sowing those things into not just our future, but we are sowing them into generations after us.
Yeah.